Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a really interesting quadcopter, one that I've never seen designed like this before. This is the Gougoushou, or Gougoushou. It's G-O-U-G-O-U-S-H-O-U. Alloy Raider, I mean. It's the first quadcopter I've seen that's fabricated with a canopy that's metal. This is an alloy, probably aluminum alloy. Very lightweight though. And the way they kept it lightweight is, if you notice, there's a lot of holes punched into the shell of this canopy here. That is intended, I'm guessing, primarily to keep the weight down. The total weight of this quadcopter is surprisingly low. It's only about 106 grams. I thought it would be a lot more, but I weighed it, and it's only 106 grams, which is good. They kept the weight down. Other things about this quadcopter, the design inside, I've looked at it, and it appears to be somewhat of a clone of the WLToys V212, V212 with a carbon fiber rod. I guess that was Blade. It actually came out with, was the first to come out with this design. So it's very similar to the WLToys and the old Blade. I forgot the name of the blade that had this design. And so are the motors. The motors happen to be 8.5 20s. So, you know, they are Latraxx Alias, WLToys type of motors that can be installed in here. You can get replacement motors for it. And actually, to change those motors, it's very simple to do. All you do is pop these 4 screws, and the top of this canopy comes right off. And in the old WLToys, you had to slide this cover back on this, but this one here is only held in place by 2 little clips that you just pry off, and you can get access to the motors very easily. So if you want to change motors are available. They're the 8.5 20s for the old Latraxx Alias and the WLToys V212. Just go purchase some of those and you can replace them. Other things about this quadcopter, it has a 3.7 volt battery, but it has this unusual, I forgot the name of this black connector, but it's the same as it's on the H8C and H8D. It's 600 milliampere hour, 3.7 volt battery. Other things I haven't mentioned, its range is about 100 meters. We're going to confirm that today. It seems to be very strong, you know. This is going to have a hard time breaking, being made of metal. I got a feeling it'll withstand impacts pretty well. The propellers that are on here, though, will probably get dinged up. It does come with blade guards. I'm not flying with blade guards. I'm going to keep it lightweight for today's flight. But these propellers seem to be your standard V212, V222 propellers. And those are still available out there if you look. So let's go for a flight of the Gougoushou. Alloy Raider, #1 metal UFO. Oh, one real quick thing I want to show you before we fly. Notice where the antenna is. They actually make the antenna protrude outside of the quadcopter. I'm going to bend it downward a bit. And the idea being, since this is metal, this is going to block the 2.4 gigahertz. So they put the antenna outside the quadcopter so that you can, it will maintain reception from the transmitter. That's a good idea. But I'm worried about certain bank angles where it might block the reception. We'll find out if that's a problem. Let's go for a flight again. Plugging it in. And trying to pay attention to how it plugs in. It is plugged in, got nice red and blue lights. I'm assuming this is the back end, so we'll try that first. Oh, going over the transmitter, it has different modes, or different rates are selected by this button here. Flipping is selected by this button here, and then telling which direction to flip. One key return is this button here. Headless mode is this button here. And these are just trimming buttons, and forward and back trimming. And this button here is labeled P and R, and I don't know what it is for. We will play with it and see what it is, but the directions for this was all in Chinese. So, but the good thing is they labeled the transmitter in English. That's great. Oh, some ravens. Okay, transmitter off, transmitter on. Oh, it powers itself off, or what? Let's see here. Let's try it again. Binding the quadcopter again. Turning on the transmitter. There we go. You have to bind it quickly or else it loses. Going right up. Let's trim it a bit. Nice and stable. Trim it to the left. Coming down a bit. Got a little breeze there. Let's go for a flight. Very smooth, very stable, very slow yaw rate in beginner's rate. Flies very nicely. Actually, very nicely. Let's go into intermediate rate. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, smooth, nice and smooth. Okay, this is intermediate rate funnels. Bringing it in closer. Going to expert rate. Let's try a flip. I don't know about flips with this thing. Let's try that again. Let's take it up a little higher just in case. Flips are an issue. I don't recommend doing flips. Okay, we're at expert rate. Pitch is nice. Is there a super expert? No, it goes back to beginner rate. So this is very stable and very smooth. I like it. Just don't like the flips. Intermediate. And expert. Let's try the maneuverability at expert. It's maneuverable. It actually does fly. It's very similar to the WLToys V212, V222. It sounds like them too. So I've got a feeling they had some leftover 212 and 222s that they just packaged inside this metal case. Now the problem with the 212 and 222 is that if you crashed it hard, you could break those carbon fiber arms on it. And I think the idea that they encased it in this metal is to lessen the chance of that, to strengthen them up. So now you got metal protecting those arms from breaking. Okay, I haven't done headless mode yet. Let's bring it down a little bit here. Let's try the 1 key return, see which direction it goes. 1 key return. Okay, so it thinks that's the headless mode bearing. Can you reset the headless mode bearing? Let's try that. I'm going to bring it in, point it toward myself here. Headless mode. Thinks that's the headless mode bearing now. Down that way, coming back, pointing to the right, to the left. No matter which direction I point the quadcopter, that's always forward. This is always to the right. So it understands that that's the headless mode bearing. Let's try the 1 key return. Oop, I had a drop out there. Now that's my concern about this. Since it's encased in metal, it can lose, at certain angles, orientation angles, it may lose reception from the quadcopter, or from the transmitter. But right now I'm not seeing any light. Oh, there we go. There's lights. Let me rebind it. And again, I want to play with that headless mode, so I'm going to point the quadcopter in that direction and see if it remembers this direction is the baseline heading for headless mode. Okay, I'm going to go down a bit and hit 1 key return. Yeah. So the direction it's pointed at when it took off is the direction it understands as the headless mode bearing. Going up, out again, 1 key return, and it comes back. Does a good job, actually. So it's old-fashioned headless mode, understanding that the direction it's pointed when it took off is the headless mode bearing. Here it comes back again. Let's see if I can do that low, at a low angle, or if I'm going to lose reception, because it tilts backwards when it comes back to you, and that antenna is pointing out the front, and I'm worried that that antenna is going to lose reception from the transmitter, but it doesn't. It didn't that time. It did a good job. Let's go into headless mode and turn it to the left and press 1 key return, and it still comes back. So, okay, what haven't I tried yet? I have not tried this P and R button. Let's come out of headless mode. Headless mode's off. Bring it down here to my level and see what happens when you press this P and R button. I don't know what the P and R button is for. P, R, nothing. The lights are blinking, by the way, so that means we're getting low. Our battery's getting low, so we're going to try to keep it close for the remainder of the flight. Look how smooth this flies in beginner's rate. Very slow yaw. Going to intermediate. Intermediate's nice. Nice, nice. An expert. I'm going to fly some funnels with it. Nice quadcopter, ain't it? All metal. There's some wind coming here now, so I'm having a little bit of a time stabilizing. I'm going back to beginner's rate though. It can fight it. Okay, and there goes the battery. That's the flight time. It let itself down gently. The motors just did not stop. It gradually descended until a landing, and I like that too. That's cool. Okay, so that's the flight of the Gougoushou. Gougoushou. I'm sure it's neither one of them is probably the correct pronunciation. Alloy Raider, #1 metal UFO. I like it. Quadcopter 101 gives it a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.